Hi, this is Pastor Don, and in this video I'd like to talk about how we're going to structure the programs of Village Life Church to help adults grow in their walk with God. Beside me you see a very common way of looking at the progress and development of a believer. It begins with win someone to the Lord, build them up in their walk with God and their character, equip them to serve in ministry, develop them as leaders, and send them out as missionaries. And so it comes across as a very logical growth model, and it's a very helpful model, and it's one that we're definitely going to keep in mind at Village Life Church. But it's not the model that we're going to use, and it's not the language that we're going to use at Village Life Church. There's a couple reasons why. First is that it appears to me it sounds too linear, and our spiritual lives just really aren't like that, are they? I mean, we grow and we stall out, and we never get done growing in our character, and we never get done being equipped to serve in ministry. It kind of keeps going back and forth of those things. So if I was to graph my spiritual life, it's, up and down and up and down, and starts to feel more like the stock market than it does like this pattern of growth. That's one reason we don't want to use this model at Village Life Church. The other is we would prefer to talk directly to people about what they're called to do and what we're to help them do, rather than talk about people. This is kind of in-house language. What we as the church are going to do to those people out there, we're going to win them to Christ, then build them and equip them. I'd rather talk directly to you and tell you what we'd like to do. The model that we're going to use at Village Life Church is going to be centered on three simple words: explore, grow, and serve. So when we meet people, we want them to explore what it means to become a follower of Jesus Christ, and to make sure we're answering their questions, especially since they're not coming from a background where they can hear the gospel one time, understand it, and be ready to make a decision for Christ. People generally have more questions than that. We want to be able to talk to them about what it means to grow in their walk with God and how God wants to build their character. And we want to talk to them about the call and the mandate to serve, to put that growth into action, to serve both the world and other people. Now you notice that these circles overlap. They're not discrete, separate steps, and they're not linear. The spiritual growth kind of works its way around. So someone that's exploring the Christian faith may very well want to participate in some of our growth options for believers and some of our service options as we try to meet the needs of the broader whole area. So you'll notice that it's kind of a cyclical, and it's not meant to go through once and then you're done. God keeps taking us through this pattern over and over again. I think of Jesus with the disciples, how he would call them, and then he would teach them, and then he would send them out. And then they would come back after he had sent them out, and he would instruct them again and debrief them and give them a new mission and teach them more and send them out again. And that seems to be the pattern that God uses in our lives, of continually wanting us to open our eyes to what he wants to call us to become or to do, or what he wants to do in our lives for us to learn, taking us through a season of growth where we learn more about him and his word. And then he always calls us to respond to that growth by serving the church and the world and giving of ourselves to others.